Seems like you guys think it's a little bit more of a chance this time.
I think they've got a better chance this time for sure. I'm glad Kyle actually mentioned this right at the end. There is the one problem is like, TA Bristol, excellent heroes at least to being able to snowball, but they do have to be careful about utilizing their jungle properly because they both do want to be able to utilize those stacks to farm, get that super fast momentum going for them. So they do have to probably stack both sides of jungle, but at the same time too, you don't want to be like losing towers while you're both farming jungle. Axe is also honestly a hero that does kind of like to farm those ancients and jungle creeps too. So maybe it could fall apart because they're all too greedy trying to get some jungle farm, but one of them has to sacrifice a little bit of their game, which is probably going to be, unfortunately, the Axe.
Is that going to cause problems, though? Because it feels like Axe is kind of, Bristleback, yeah, he's just going to run in with his face. TA eventually will get a blink, but I feel like Axe kind of is that main initiator for these team fights. He is the person that you build the fight around. And if he's getting sacrificed and he's not getting a good timing on some of these items, isn't that going to come back to bite them?
I think so, it could, but I think if the one thing is at least they have a strong lane, right? Skye and this Axe, it used to be a very common one because you just do so much harassment damage that maybe they can just try to play the lane with the two of them, perhaps. But yeah, I do agree. It could definitely hurt them if this Axe does not get some type of timings to initiate, because otherwise they just have to run into fights face first, and then you're allowing Slardar to do what Slardar does, is Corrosive Haze one target, Corrosive Haze another one, and then it gets kind of weird.
It just becomes easy. I don't know about weird. It just becomes very easy. But,
weird for EXTREMUM is what I mean. Yeah,
that's true.
Then these heroes, which usually can be very tanky, like a Bristleback, just no longer is at all.
I mean, this is definitely one of those situations where I feel like, Spirit's okay if you're just going to be running directly into them. I think it gives them plenty of time to set up all of their other stuns, arrows, you name it. They seem to bring it this time around.
See Chu. Nice sentry ward right at the start here. He not only dewards the high ground, but also stops them from blocking the camp. So already we did see Team Spirit looking to block out one of those. Tokyo eating a couple melds to the face.
Very aggressive. We talked about both of these particular heroes here being very, very aggressive in game number one. The players, of course, not going for anything too defensive, and I have a feeling we're just going to see them run at each other again this time.
We sure will.
My concern, though, you said it's a snowballing lineup, and I know for a fact that if TA starts to fall behind, it's incredibly difficult to get back into this game and be relevant. Now, granted, we do have that shard. We've got the ability to, use those side blades a little bit more, what's the word? Efficiently, I guess? But is it going to be enough here if they get too far behind, if they die several times?
No, they have to it's play ahead, stay ahead, really, for the side of EXTREMUM. I think if they make like one or two slip-ups in this game, it could quickly crumble out of control. So, gotta play clean on EXTREMUM.
Oh, we'll get a courier at the very least, but a lot of pressure placed on G. Lots of stacks, though. A lot of that goo over here on Collapse.
Goo, one of the better level 1 abilities, but
he's dead. The wind up, it's set up perfectly, and that is a dead Nefrit.
He's sticking around so low next to this Slardar. This is why we see Slardar also just picked so often, especially versus these melee cores. He just dominates the lane. So Bristle, not off to a good start.
I don't think we should see Mira miss a single arrow, honestly, this game, when you consider what they have set up for the side.
Chu.
Yeah, Chu going a little bit too forward, and he's just clicked down or inked down by Miposhka here. This is, feeling a little bit spooky now.
Yeah, not what you want to have happen with these type of lanes where you want to be playing aggressive, but it's, Skywrath and Axe, it's a good kill lane if they can't actually like secure creeps and get off the battle hunger, and both of these heroes, they do actually just get rid of it easily. Like Grimstroke, just even with a stroke on a range creep, you're able to secure them quite easily. Shashlo should be able to get farm up here, but yeah, don't want to be dying too much on Skywrath early. You are literally the definition of early game hero.
Some damage being placed over here on Collapse. Leap forward here coming out from Mira, though, trying to body block a little bit. Needs to be careful. Probably going to fall for this now with the leaps. Is going to be able to escape. And Miposhka also sitting very, very low up here in this lane.
Starting to cut the camp. Cut the creeps. They're running out of regen. They're cutting off the couriers, too. Like, look at the two couriers from Spirit. They can't actually make the way over because of how EXTREMUM is playing.
Yatsuro's sitting very low as well.
He's dead.
Yeah, gets a nice spin off from Sashlo, and down goes the king.
So Axe is enabled nicely, even though Chu did die. But Nefrit, he's getting nothing down here at all. 7 last hits to the 14 and 3 right now of the Slardar. Hard camp also is not blocked, so Miranda is going to just be able to arrow that over and over again.
Melodro and Tokyo getting into a little bit of a clicking war. Tokyo perhaps going a bit too far, though. Does have that water rune. Is forced to pop it. Melodro not going to get that aggressive here.
These two players are just the definition of aggression, really.
I love it. I love it.
Joshua.
Oh, it lands. This is not looking good now for Sashla. Forced to burn that fairy fire as Yatro is going to turn his eyes back around here to this creep wave.
Nefrit's just dead again. And you have a Witch Doctor behind you, one of the stronger actual lane supports. He got 3 CS in that time that he respawned, went back to lane. He got pretty much nothing in the lane. And they even get the pull off, too, as we see on the mini-map right there. The Mirana does get the pull to the hard camp. Bottom lane is a disaster. So now they need to really smash top lane. They need to get this Axe nicely enabled. And your Bristle, he's probably going to have to take the stacks away from the TA in order to have a game.
Just a bit too reliant on all of these stacks in the jungle on the side of EXTREMUM. Although, Dota2 making a rotation, spots himself a Chew, and we talked about this. We talked about the fact that Tiny is just going to be running at these supports. And they're fairly squishy, so they're just going to evaporate every time.
Such an early move. Not something you'd expect as your off lane.
Perhaps they realize the fact, Nefrit's being handled pretty well, and this Axe and Skywrath lane is very, very important to EXTREMUM.
Yeah.
So why not
definitely
make these moves now since you're that strong? Get a faster Blink Dagger.
Yep, and the lane also in mid becomes very difficult as that TA gets like level 5, level 3 refraction. You can't really do too much as a Tiny versus it. Once you've got Grow, you at least can deal with the harassment of that high physical damage, since you will have that like huge jolt and bonus armor, but yeah, nice move from Tokyo. Nefrit's gotten 4 more last hits, but this is, it's never good to see for your Bristleback this early on. He's got 3 CS a minute at 5 minutes. That's, yeah, super far behind.
Abysmal.
Shashla's got Vanguard, so he still is timed nicely at least. So he's just going to do the cut, but then that also means Wraith King's going to free farm as well, so I don't think you're too fussed about this on the side of Spirit.
It feels like they needed to be a little bit more, I don't want to say aggressive, but more successful in this top lane with the Axe and the Skywrath, though. Because like you said, even though Sashla is having a nice timing on that Vanguard, he's still allowing the Wraith King to free farm. And this is a hero that farms very fast and also takes buildings as well.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm not really a huge fan of the Skywrath in this region right now. It takes a specialist. It takes someone who absolutely knows the literal full min-maxing of it. And I've only seen, like, honestly, Xingqiu. XNQ from China right now so far. He's been the only one who's really impressed me on the hero. Chu, I've seen him try it a couple times now, but yeah, unable to really pressure the safe lane much. Stacks being set up, it looks like on both sides.
Gonna try to make some moves. Do get the silence off, but Yatro will be just fine as he turns around, throws out Wraith Fire Blast, and is just gonna run away here. Over to Maposhka.
Gets salved up. Tokyo staying in the mid lane to make sure he doesn't lose his tower. And the Wraith King also nice little play. Doesn't panic, he instantly turns, kills a creep when he's hungered, so they can't actually chase him more. Now TP, Mira.
Maposhka trying to get into position here. Mira hiding in the tree line.
He's like, I really want to arrow this catapult and steal your CS, Wraith King, but looking to set up for the gank. Can they take advantage of this at all down bottom?
I don't know. I feel like Collapse is just backing off. He realizes, okay, I'm not as strong as I was before. I mean, this is nice for Nefrit, right? It gives him a little bit of space so that way he doesn't have to be worried about arrows flying at his face the entire time, but he is quite behind.
Yeah, I'm surprised Collapse, if he does stick around. I think you just jungle a little bit. Yeah, just hit some neutrals, because of how efficient the bash is on those neutrals. You're able to just farm it and deny it away. G also has to be a little careful of how much damage will come out from this.
Did you see that? That's just, it's going to be a solo kill.
Dead.
Ooh, we talked about the Tiny being scary, but this Slardar is exceptionally scary as well. Rotation now over to the mid lane. Just going to do a little dewarding.
Look at Nefrit, he's getting bullied out as well. Oh my god, Collapse is just taking over the bottom lane by himself. He's got phase boost, so we'll be able to counteract a little bit of that minus armor, but he needs the salve to be healed up.
And he drops the Arteezy.
Of course he does. They're pinging it. They're like, I can't even get the range creep. Arteezy's taunting me.
All right, they will follow up though. Choose here with that Skywrath. They've got the silence down. Crush comes out. They'll get a decent amount of damage here from G, so they should be able to finally get their revenge on the Slardar.
G gets the kill though. I think Nefrit really needs to get every single one of these kills. I think it was just Maledict, but yeah, this Bristle needs to get enabled a little bit better. Already 1k gold advantage. All 3 lanes still looking real hot. And how's our stacks doing? I see TA already starting to work on some of them on the side of EXTREMUM. Yeah, those Ancients. Yeah, very stack-reliant team. And especially when your Bristle is this far behind, if TA is taking your stacks, that means Bristle's going to continue to be behind as Tokyo.
That's a nice rotation here from Toronto Tokyo, and with a little help from the Grimstroke, they'll get a kill. Mira also getting jumped on over here in the woods, but they don't have quite enough lockdown here on the side of EXTREMUM, so Mira's just going to go right back. And again, I'm sure wanting to apply more pressure here to Nefrit.
That gets the D ward as well. Can't even punish him for it. No reliable stuns. They just have the cask, which you can just easily leap away. Even the Ancient Steel not enough right now. Good early start here again for Team Spirit.
The TA is doing pretty nicely, though. She has been able to, stack the sides, be able to take these camps, so still on target currently.
Not enough stacks for me. When you're running with this type of lineup, I wanted to see like 8 stacks on the side of EXTREMUM. I wanted everything to try to be stacked up, because, especially because of how poorly the lane did go down bottom. Don't think that's enough for them to enable these two who are so far behind. His ring of health, no.
Oh. And the I thought G was gonna get hit with that arrow there for half a second. Mira, though, has to be careful. Couple stacks of that goo will force the 2 supports of the side of Team Spirit away. Yeah, they've got more stacks on just Mira alone. Oh, sorry, that's wards destroyed. My bad.
I don't know how effective the, Vanguard is. I mean, I guess because he has phase boots, it's fine. But minus armor, the way it works with Vanguard is if you have too little armor, the Vanguard actually doesn't do what it's supposed to do. You don't block as much because of that physical damage. So he is still going to be really punished even when he gets that, versus just the corrosive haze that's going to be coming out. And I'm wondering if Yotaro just goes for full physical damage himself, like Armlet, Deso, AC. I think that's definitely the right approach from him if you'd like to on this Wraith King. As Collapse easily can take jungle himself. That double damage bash, super effective now in the jungle. And they've gone for Midas, so agreed. They know that they're against the timing lineup, so I'm all right with it.
I can hear Kyle in the background just hates that. He absolutely hates that.
I absolutely hate Midas as well, but I think when they know they're the better team, you know that you're scaling harder, you probably don't feel like you need to hit any big timings.
A confident pickup then here on the side of Spirit. And again, they're just, the Axe is being allowed to hit these creeps, but so is Yatoro, and he's sitting just real pretty right now. 5.1k.
Shashlo's alone as well, too. Like, Tokyo's just going to burst him.
He is. Look at this. Immediately. Even have the Inkswell, the Avatos. I'll follow up with the stun from the Inkswell. Gets a couple spins off, but at the end of the day, it's Yatoro who will get the kill.
And Miposhka, he holds off on the stroke. He gives one of his cores the kill. Very important to do that as well. Blink stun, 11 minutes in. Squishy supports have no participation now in the game. EXTREMUM. Like, this Witch Doctor and Skywrath are just absolute food. Some of the squishier ones in the game as well. 1 armor on Skywrath.
Might try to make something on Mira here, but they do have to be careful. Yeah, look at this. Immediately leaping away the second they see him. They'll get a cask bump off, and they'll follow up with the Mystic Flare, but there's just no way to hold Collapse into place right now as they'll follow up. They go back in. They had a teleport come out.
And this is the concern where if your TA takes the stacks, then that means that your Axe isn't going to have any type of initiating tool. So it's really up to EXTREMUM just to walk in to go for these plays, and now it's double Blink Dagger on Spirit.
Nothing like the position 1 ganking in the mid lane. It looks like Melojul should be able to survive this, though, as G is here. And he'll throw out a cask, but he might end up dying for this because he does indeed get stunned. The Stroke of Fate coming in. He's got the Voodoo Restoration. They need another hit, and they're not going to be able to quite find it.
Barely gets away. Nefrit will at least get his time to get that Vanguard. Needs more armor. Armor.
As in Tokyo was going to go chasing after him there with that haste rune, but you have to blink on light. We talk about the fact that Axe is going to have to literally kind of stroll on into these fights, whereas this Slardar, he can take a fight whenever he wants.
Sure can. And he's going for the enabling build. I saw he has Solar Crest queued up next, so all about buffing up his Wraith King. He's already got the main item that he needs in the game, so I like this approach a lot from Spirit, especially because we did see Wraith King go more greedy route. Now they can be super active on both of the other cores because of that greed. So Deso is done. Melojul still does have a good timing on that, as we were mentioning. He's the only core really having that great game so far.
Out to Tokyo with the Inkswell. Does miss on G, but he'll follow up with the toss into the air. The arrow probably not even necessary as it whizzes past the face of that TA.
Clean again from Spirit. 8-2. Already starting to invade the jungle. Can't quite make it toward that ancient side just yet, but that is definitely the next thing on the menu for these Blink cores.
I just think it's so funny the fact that they're playing so aggressive, but they haven't taken any towers just yet. They're just running after the side of EXTREMUM currently because they know they'll have that.
Hey, look at Nefrit. Like he's
so afraid.
He's going for a cloak as well. Wait, what? I mean, you definitely don't want to build a cloak this game on your
He's
Bristle.
so afraid, dude.
I mean, it's effective versus Tiny and all that, but you're just gonna get... I don't know if you have the slots to go for this item this game, but see if it does work for him.
Just a casual, perhaps. But Sashla does have the Blink Dagger completed now.
Okay, so now they can actually look to make some aggressive moves. Got to get some successful ones with Chu. Maybe even set up for that Roche because the Deso is there for Melojewel with the goo. Should be able to sneak this one. Set up for the double meld. Might catch Spirit off guard because he's going to die so quickly.
Yeah, no one seems to... Okay, Sashlo's just wandering around the outside of the pit here. Arrow tossed in, does land on Nefrit. They know someone's in there. They'll go for a call. We'll be able to taunt up Mirana, but Mira walking away. This Roche is going down too fast, though. It looks like Spirit aren't too concerned about it here. So it will be Melojewel picking up the Aegis.
They farmed the map, though. I think they recognized that it was going on, and they all just continued to hit creeps. They're like, whatever, who cares? So Midas Wraith King not getting pressured, we're chilling.
Yeah.
Chu is... I actually am surprised Chu is showing top. Because when the Skyrest shows, that means your kill combo is not going to be there for the axe. So Mira is able to walk up there and survive. I feel like Mira should 100% die in that situation when he pokes his face. Because there should be a call.
Sashlo missing his blink call here, so he is going to suffer as they'll turn it right back around on him, and Miposhka collects the kill.
And they're swinging over.
Yeah, look at EXTREMUM. They're hightailing it out of here. Going over to that high ground where they feel a little bit safer. G needs to be a bit careful. They have plenty of vision where he's wandering around. They could potentially try to jump on him.
4K lead already at this point. Nefrit does not have the Aegis either. Arrow onto the catapult. Love it.
They should change that voice line when she gets very upset. Oh my goodness,
agree.
G. 1, 2, 3. I guess 4 technically. That is a dead witch doctor.
They're camping
They're
here around
low
the ward,
ground.
but they see them.
They're trying to bait or something, but the arrow connects
hits.
over onto Nefrit. He just can't do anything. Toronto Tokyo, though, does get blown up thanks to that flare, but they've managed to get Chu. It's going to be the link up over on the side. The leap away here from the Mirana. Yatoro trying to just push through here. Can he get the kill on Sashlo? Not quite yet. Mirana, though, jumping forward, gets the kill on Sashlo. And this is not looking good now for this TA.
They're going for round 2. He's
Round 2. They're waiting. Look at this.
Perfect.
The arrow right on target. A couple bounces, but it's still the Inkswell that will clean up Melojewel.
This is getting ugly already here.
Oh, Chu walking right into collapse. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Spray
The
paint.
RTZ. And...
The post is like,
he was
it's
trying
yours.
for it. He was trying to go from downtown here. The blink is going to be off cooldown. They have... Oh, look at this. The speed of a Slardar. Toronto Tokyo wanted it, but in the end, it is Miposhka who gets the kill.
They thought that they're in a safe spot there because they have the ward and the sentry, but they actually don't know that that other ward, there's actually 2 wards places. Oh god, that's disgusting. It's actually like on the tower.
Yeah, it's like... It looks absolutely horrific. I've been doing that in all of my pups.
On the tower as well. Ugh.
Yeah, everything gets see-through through it, too.
It does. Oh man. Poor Suns fan.
I'm sure he's just happy we're talking about him, honestly.
He's probably burping at home.
Probably.
Nefrit is queuing up an Ags. Huh. Okay. Not a fan. Good item, but you need to get something else in between. You need more armor, as we've seen. Like, he just gets shredded in a couple seconds, so... I would have liked for him actually just to go for his own Solar Crest or just a casual medallion into something else first. Like, this itemization is a bit weird, but they are just getting steamrolled, to be honest with you, so I don't even know if it would matter what he does pick up. But yeah, that's a bit of a weird one as Mira. Beautiful timing on the arrow.
I mean, you keep talking about the itemization, just the fact that he doesn't have much armor. It's pretty difficult when you get jumped on by the Slardar, and we're seeing that.
It's all physical. Well, it's not all physical damage, but it's mostly physical damage when you see the Slardar and the Wraith King. So... the Aghanims, as we saw, no, it is very busted on a hero like Bristleback. If you're able to take a long, continuous fight and get those stacks up, you're not living
able
long
to
enough.
do it.
No, it's
No.
I mean, the game is pretty much out of control here. It's 3-15. I think Radiance is already done for Wraith King. And Team Spirit have effectively destroyed the whole game. Where EXTREMUM wanted to get some momentum with Aegis, they actually lost momentum because they lost the fight completely as soon as they picked that one up. Spirit, yeah, Vision. On point again, as they tend to do. Echo Saber also now finished up for the Tiny, so more physical damage. Spirit Vessel also done on the Mirana, so their HP is no longer tanky either.
In some cases, your HP was not really there in the first place. When you look at these poor supports, the way that Slardar just jumps on top of them and just takes a couple hits.
Both supports just died to either one of them jumping, the Slardar or the Tiny, and soon the Wraith King. I think if Wraith King gets Blink Dagger too, I don't know how you can even walk up as a Witch Doctor or Skywrath.
I think you don't. I think you hang as far back as possible and you pray that everyone else in front of you gets a good initiation.
He's committed for the Ags.
Well, we'll have to see if it works out for him here, but it definitely feels a bit scary going for this item.
Yeah, I'd actually like to see the Axe give him the Arcane Ring even. Just any type of little bits of armor. He needs it so badly on Bristle. Sure, Axe needs the mana, but the game you have to enable your Bristle a little bit better here so that he can actually survive the burst, the brunt of the force, so he can actually get consecutive spells off when he ever does get the Aghanims. Sure, they'll have more items coming up soon, so they do have that 17 minutes tier 2 items up now if they can get them.
You can see the way that EXTREMUM's just playing this top half of the map, trying to find whatever farm that they can. But the Moonlight Shadow and the Smoke is here. Ooh.
Run right by each other.
Yeah, they definitely do, and only one of them is going to be able to run away here. And that's going to be the side of Spirit after they do a quick hit and run on 2 heroes. Ooh. Okay, and rip it down.
This is brutal. This is just painful to watch, really. Shoshlo's jungling enemy side around the vision that he does have, but Spirit, precise hits as always. 3 to 17, another one. Easy kills.
I've been in these games before. I've been that support that gets blown up by the Tiny. It feels awful.
It does. Melo's having, like we said, he's having a decent game, but the other 2 cores are just completely out. They can't do anything versus Spirit.
I mean, he's having a decent game just because he's not dying.
Yeah.
Like, let's be really honest here. Melo has been finding the, the camps to farm, the creeps to hit, but when it comes to the actual fights, he's just had to play it so incredibly careful. He can't full-on commit a lot of the times. And when he does, he ends up with that death.
Yeah, and they've already got items to prepare for him, too. Like, Miposhka's got Ghost Scepter already at this point of the game. Very early on for a Grimstroke to be able to get that. Mira always has the leaps to be able to rely on. Also just innate tankiness now from that Spirit Vessel. What do you do, EXTREMUM?
You immediately get stunned, and look at Collapse waiting patiently, waiting for them to try to make a play here onto Yatro.
They've got Solar Crest already.
Already tossed out.
These Goos, not as effective either. Same thing for Quills, already kind of counteracted because the Slardar went for this early game build. Which I love. I like when these Slardars are actually doing this lately.
I mean, the fact that Spirit walked up there, hit the creeps, started taking some harass, and are still able to just be like, meh, and walk away, really tells you the whole state of this game.
Yeah.
No one dies there. No one gets punished for, being a little aggressive or anything. They just waltz on out, and EXTREMUM's like, cool, we don't want to take this fight. Probably,
It's just not easy. They're not really even showing the heroes that EXTREMUM does want to kill, because Wraith King is the one who walks up, and what are you going to do? You throw your entire kit onto a Wraith King, he respawns, and then you just lose the fight?
Nothing left.
They have to find the Tiny. Tiny or Slardar has to be the ones that get caught inside the call so that they can blow them up with the Skywrath. But yeah, Spirit's just not giving them the opportunity. Yatoro, massive SNY on top of this Radiance. Then he's going to go for AC, so he's gone for the smaller items in between.
Okay, some pressure being placed on Effort. They do get the call out here with the Mystic Flare.
But it's the Wraith King.
The Wraith King. He's going to be right back up again as they jump onto the back lines, as they just rip apart Chu. The arrow connecting, the stun jumping forward here from Mira. They'll be able to clean up Shoshlo and Collapse. He's sitting pretty low here, but he's still going to be able to survive. They can't get the last hit off. Nefert just trying to spin around. Meloju already popping that BKB, but soon it's going to wear out. Toronto Tokyo, he is so fast right now. He'll turn around, turn his attention. Shoshlo buying back. Look at Collapse, though. He wants Nefert so bad. He'll get it. He'll fall for it. But mission accomplished as now Shoshlo, he has bought back for this, and he is now dead.
It is impossible to recover. The Snowball lineup has been completely shut down. And Collapse, he gave his life for that kill. He just wanted to go for it there. He gives it well played. Bristol has Ags done, but yeah, as we said, doesn't feel like it'll matter. I think a trap gets the kill.
The trap, okay.
Onto the poor Grimstroke. They'll tip him for it. Collapse is having a fun day. 14K lead, 23 minutes. It's actually worse than last game.
Which is funny because we thought this draft possibly had more promise, I guess, than the last one. But again, they went full greed, and Spirit, realizing that they went full greed, matched it with their own. Now it's a 14K net worth lead at 23 minutes in. And the game just seems almost impossible here for EXTREMUM.
Yeah, they get the call, but it's like I said, you cannot get the call on the Wraith King. You have to get the support to the other heroes. He eventually does die, but look what you lose for it. You lose your entire lineup.
You lose Chu almost immediately.
Yeah.
Your initiator dies. They try to back up, but he's the tanky boy too. I can't believe Collapse, or not Collapse. Or yeah, no, Collapse when he survived like during that until he got to the point of just the final quill, right?
I mean, he
wanted it
gives
too
his
bad
life for it. He got the XP too, so he'll say it's worth it. Which it is, absolutely.
And then Sashlo just gets left high and dry. He bought back for that. And the rest of the team's already dead or just not in the position anymore.
Barely even a smile.
All in a day's work.
Mm-hmm. Tiny with a Manta, okay.
Look at this, the Roche is up. They have the traps in the pit. They'll go for a smoke play. Gonna see if they can try to wrap around here.
They can't team fight. They're gonna, I mean, they have to catch the squishier heroes in the front line.
I mean, Maposhka is presenting himself right here, but follow-up here from Yatoro. He's got the Inkswell on him, the arrow coming in. He's just stuck in this tight canyon here. Followed up with the Stroke of Fate. These big old crits coming out. Nefert is just sliced into pieces. They do manage to get the courier, but Toronto Tokyo finds himself Melojul, who's forced to pop the BKB. If they had a little bit more physical damage, he wasn't gonna make it out alive at all.
That's true. Gets brought down to just some hits, and Shashlo, he has to run away. Hightailing it out of there. Yeah, they can't win a fight, so they're too far behind. Everything's gone wrong for them. Shashlo is good start. Only lasted for a few seconds, it feels like.
And that means the Roche is available for the takings. The Team Spirit will take it with open arms here.
Easy. Easy game, they say. Max only has level 1 ults, too. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but maybe misclicked inside the team fight.
It's possible. Man, I just am not feeling the power of this Bristleback.
Those two deaths in lane, that's like GG, honestly. If you're playing with this type of draft and you get killed like that in lane, he had 14 CS, he had 15 CS at 5 minutes.
Yeah, and as a Bristleback that's supposed to be a lane dominator, that's a big oof.
And he didn't get to farm any stacks. Like, the key thing about Bristle is getting him to snowball and get that far ahead, but...
Okay, they should be able to get a pick off here. Nice dunk over onto Mira, so won't be any pesky Mirana to have to worry about for a little bit.
Collapse just instantly spams chat wheels at his teammate. They don't mind that death. It's just the Mirana who goes down. 19K gold lead, BKB Slardar. Cruising through the game.
Are indeed. Poor G, he's just trying to get whatever he can, but the second he shows up on a creep wave, Toronto Tokyo just evaporates him.
He knows he's dead there too. He's just like, let me get like 1 or 2 creeps with this cask. Look how much gold he actually gives anyway too. 356 when they're this far behind, still gives so much to a solo kill. AC soon on the horizon here for Yatoro. Level 20 as well. Some crazy levels coming out for the whole side of Spirit on these cores. What levels are Slardar? Do we have a level 3 Corrosive Haze just yet? About to. So minus armor. Even higher there with the Solar Crest. It's going to be like minus 26 plus just with those two. Plus the AC, it's going to be minus 31 armor on this Bristleback. So he's going to be at 0 when he's not... Actually, when he's not near a tower, he's going to be below 0.
That's terrifying at this point in the game.
Yeah, he's going to have like... Actually, like 700 effective, maybe less than 700 effective HP versus the physical.
They're just trying to... Toronto Tokyo's feeling himself right now, man. He is in the base. He's got one tiny little creepy friend. Jumps forward. G buys himself a bit more time, but eventually will just pop. Nefert's here. The rest of the team, though, I don't know about this. Yatoro jumping forward. They do have the Malediction over on Tokyo, and the BKB coming out here from Melojul, but he's already popped it, and they're not even chasing after him right now.
Nefert has to be very careful. They actually missed the arrow with the stun.
Sashlo finds Collapse, but they do take down Shu. Nefert is just getting clicked down here. The jump forward, the tree coming in. And now the chase is on. They're going to push EXTREMUM all the way back into their base and out of the game with the GG call.